This is Plant-Based Briefing. Got joint pain? An anti-inflammatory diet may be the key to your relief, by Kathy Meldrum at nutritionstudies.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this plant-based podcast where I curate, get permission, and narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. Today's article is from the Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. They're a nonprofit whose mission is to promote optimal nutrition through science-based education, advocacy, and research. They were founded to extend the impact of Dr. Colin Campbell's life-changing research findings. He's the co-author of the best-selling book, The China Study, and also author of the best-selling book, Whole. Highly recommend both of those. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Got joint pain? An anti-inflammatory diet may be the key to your relief, by Kathy Meldrum at nutritionstudies.org. As a practicing physical therapist, I come across a lot of people with joint pain. Conventional medical wisdom tells us that aging plus wear and tear is a one-way street leading to the inevitable breakdown of joints over time, and that we are, in a sense, powerless over this process. But what if we could do something to slow down or even reverse this process? Many people are now becoming aware that our choices matter, particularly when it comes to the food we eat. Joint pain and inflammation. Joint pain has numerous etiologies, including injury, infection, arthritis, and disease, and they all share one common factor: inflammation. The inflammation associated with joint pain comes in two varieties, acute and chronic. Acute inflammation is usually the result of injury or infection and has telltale signs that include heat, pain, redness, and swelling. This type of inflammation begins quickly, is necessary for healing, and may last for just a few days or weeks. With proper treatment, acute inflammation resulting from injury and infection will completely resolve. Chronic inflammation, on the other hand, is less obvious to the untrained eye. It is an ongoing, long-term systemic condition that can result in many diverse symptoms, such as fatigue, skin rashes, muscle aches, joint pain, and brain fog, making it difficult to treat. The joint pain and inflammation that develop with arthritis and disease tend to be chronic in nature. NSAIDs and physical therapy are often prescribed with varying results. Diet is not regularly considered a treatment option, but as we are learning, it may be more important than we once thought. The connection between diet and inflammation. The standard American diet is at the forefront of the inflammatory process. Processed and fast foods, which make up about 60% of the American diet, are filled with shelf-stabilizing and taste-enhancing chemicals that are generally recognized as safe, but the cumulative long-term effects of these food additives are not well known. Most processed and fast foods also contain industrial seed oils, which can cause an imbalance in the ratio of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, resulting in inflammation. Consuming high amounts of sugar and refined carbohydrates spike blood sugar, contributing to diabetes, obesity, and inflammation. Excessive alcohol intake is linked to dysbiosis, an imbalance of the good and bad bacteria in the gut, which is associated with inflammation. Gluten, a protein found in wheat, can be inflammatory for some people and has been linked to intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut syndrome. Studies show that red and processed meats are associated with an increased risk of cancer, heart disease, and stroke, all of which have underlying inflammatory components. With so many foods related to inflammation, you may be wondering, what can I eat? Luckily, once you ditch the inflammatory foods, the door to a whole food, plant-based diet will open, and you will discover many new delicious foods to eat. Your taste buds will shift, and you will notice how sweet something like an apple can be. Anti-inflammatory foods to eat. Base your diet on eating a variety of whole plant-based foods that are nutrient-dense and full of antioxidants. Antioxidants work by reducing reactive oxygen species, also called free radicals. Free radicals are a normal byproduct of metabolism, which can accumulate over time and promote inflammation. Excellent sources of antioxidant-rich foods are leafy greens like kale, spinach, Swiss chard, and romaine, cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower, brightly colored fruits and vegetables like sweet peppers, carrots, tomatoes, fruit, especially deeply colored fruits like blueberries, cherries, and grapes, high-fat fruits like olives and avocados, nuts like almonds, walnuts, pistachios, Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, seeds like flax, chia, hemp, sunflower, or pumpkin, spices like ginger and turmeric, and tea like green, white, and oolong. Filling up your plate with antioxidant-rich plant foods will go a long way in taming inflammation and, as a result, reducing chronic joint pain. A physical therapist can prescribe exercises to correct muscle imbalances and protect the surrounding structures of a painful joint. Coupling dietary changes with physical therapy exercises is an ideal treatment plan for the prevention, protection, and reduction of joint pain. You just listened to Got Joint Pain? An Anti-Inflammatory Diet May Be the Key to Your Relief by Kathy Meldrum at nutritionstudies.org. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. If you're interested in other episodes about inflammatory diets or inflammatory foods, if wherever you listen has a search feature, you can just type that in, or you can go to plantbasedbriefing.com/episodes. There's a great search feature there. But I will link a few in the show notes. Episode 570, Anti-Inflammatory Diet for Lupus. 373 and 374, Healing Autoimmune Disease with Supermarket Foods. 286, Using Green Tea to Help Prevent Cancer and Treat Cancer. 203, Foods that Cause Inflammation and Which Foods are Anti-Inflammatory. And 158, How to Eat to Reduce Plantar Fasciitis Pain. And she mentioned alcohol intake, excessive alcohol intake being associated with inflammation, as it's linked to dysbiosis, an imbalance of the good and bad bacteria in the gut. So I'm going to link a Huberman Lab podcast episode on alcohol that is really eye-opening. It's called What Alcohol Does to Your Body, Brain, and Health. So check that one out if you're interested as well. So please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.